Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. We're back. This one here, like I said, I just got back from that float trip. Still trying to get back into being alive-ish. My fucking kidneys hurt when I got back.
2 cases of beer.
2 cases of beer. A handle of apple pucker.
And 150 Jello shots.
And Friday night, I drank an entire fifth of whiskey. Which High West Double Barrel Rye, if you like whiskey, go try that shit.
What is it?
High West Double Barrel Rye. The shit's good.
Some old rye whiskey.
And I thought it was really fucking good. Because I don't remember but drinking like half of it. And I got up the next morning. My old lady was like, "How you feeling?" I was like, "Oh, cloudy. It's cloudy." And I was like, "I got to get something to drink." Well, naturally, I'd found a Bloody Mary mix. It's called Filthy. So I had to buy it. So I get my plastic cup out, fill her full of ice, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, there's that bottle of whiskey in the freezer." And there's about, I don't know, half an inch of shit at the bottom. I'm like, "Oof. No wonder I feel like shit." As I'm like, gluck, 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 gluck on this vodka.
You realize you're not like 23 anymore, right?
I'm not, but I'm telling you, Saturday, I drank so much that I drank myself back out of being drunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I drank myself sober. Because about 6:30, I was like, "Ooh."
You're double drunk now.
I was like, "Oh, I'm drunk as fuck." And we were already back at the cabin at this point. Well, they're all cooking, and I'm like, "Man, fuck this. I'm still
I'm in party mode."
Yeah. So I'm like trying to treat the shit like the state fair, bounce around, fucking campsite.
You're the only person I know that would turn a float trip into the state fair.
I mean, I was having fun. That's what I told everybody. I was like, "I guess your all's fun meter don't go as high as that."
Well, they're a little bit older. So it's not really the group that you would normally party with, you know.
Well, I told him I was going to wear a fucking nutrient hat.
You might hear some Deliverance music and shit down there if you're doing that.
I told him I was going to wear that nutrient hat. And that way nobody knew that I worked for Logan.
Well, while you were gone, we took a little... Not really a staycation because we did crash in a hotel with the daughter. We went to California. Mixed emotions. Everybody kind of knows why. But I did say, you know, when you got buddies that are going to those shows, I just kind of suck my pride in a little bit and go support them guys. In the world of Derby, we all know everybody's secretive. Nobody knows who's going where, what the fuck they're taking, you know, so on and so on. World of Snapchats and shit, you kind of get a pretty good idea who's going to go. You just don't know all of them. I told you, I was very, very impressed with a mower derby.
Stop.
And I'm telling you, dude, you've told me to stop, but... I never saw one in person. That takes redneck fuckery to a whole different level.
I've watched them. I have. I couldn't.
Have you watched them in person?
Yeah. Yeah, because they used to have them in Warrenton. And I've seen them in Warrenton. They have them in Milan one year. I watched them in Milan. It was cool for like the first 3 minutes to me. It just... They can only do so much.
The first class was a stock class, and there was probably, I don't know, 16 or 18 of them.
You're telling me they had multiple classes of these?
They had stock class, modifieds, and full modifieds. So there was 15 or 18 in the first class.
So what'd you see, like your Murrays and shit?
Craftsmen.
Fuck, man.
With NLR shifters and foot pedals for throttle.
I'm taking my Hustler.
Don't know how that will
108-inch cut, rear discharge. I'm leaving the fucking deck on.
And I think I've seen the garden tractor pulls, and that shit was boring. Really boring to me. you know, however many RPMs they hold, just the whole time. Well, these guys were actually shifting. I mean, you'd hear it shift. And they were pulling wheelies. It was pretty enjoyable for me. Not so much the last two classes. When I got to the mod shit, there was just 2 in each class. Not so much. But I really did truthfully enjoy the stock class. Compacts.
We're gonna catch shit on the
Your favorite class
was Alan Brown down there
was
sucking.
not in a compact.
He was down there sucking Bud Lights down there watching him, wasn't he? You know, that's not the only reason they call him Downtown Alan Brown, right? I'm starting to learn this. He's loving compacts and Bud Light. And
He had a Ultra bottle in his hand, aluminum bottle. Wasn't a big car count, but was
where the
quality.
fuck have you seen a big one
Correct.
this year?
Nowhere. Not yet. Nowhere yet.
Right. I mean, we've seen some decent car counts. Everybody knew it was going to be fucked up this year.
When you got 417 derbies in 3 fucking months,
Yeah.
what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, there's 417 derbies, but there's 379 different promoters with different rules. Yeah, we've seen it.
I think they had roughly 7 or 8 stock cars.
They got it to fuck on though.
Word.
Looked like Justin Meyer was doing Justin Meyer things.
03 things. And I talked to him afterwards, and I said, you know, there's this, when you're coming across the track sideways, I said, there should be that little thing in the back of your head that says back off to straighten it up and then put your feet. He said, nah, fuck that.
They don't have that.
He said, ain't near as much fun. But
because you've got to commend the dude because he don't give a fuck about parts.
Zero, because I'm pretty sure he cooked another motor.
He don't give a fuck.
Nope. Throw another one together.
That's why I like this sport, and there's certain guys out there that I love to watch because of that. Because he's not out there trying to make money.
Oh no,
he don't give a fuck.
No, he wants junk shit. Period.
And he does that.
Yeah.
He got Mad Dog.
Yeah. There was an old boy in that stock class.
Yeah, who the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I watched the video. I don't know whether he had a killer set of gears or a badass motor.
He had a badass motor.
Okay, because all I could see was he was just overdriving the motherfucker out of it.
Yeah.
About that time he'd get that motherfucker lined out, he'd lay into it, and he'd turn back around the other way.
I've never even heard
number
of the boy's
7.
name. Yep. Because he run a gut and go as well. And he drove his gut and go the same fucking way. The same way.
Well, I finally I was laughing, giggling a little bit. I mean, nothing against the guy, just holy shit.
Yes.
Because fuck, he'd see in one place, and then he'd pinball off the wall on the other side. He did more damage to himself than he did to anybody else.
So what they did was a little bit different. They did have the 50-50 raffle. Everybody knows the 50-50, 50% you keep. 50% usually goes to some organization or something. Not there. That shit went to the overall Mad Dog. Plus the added money that sponsors and shit threw in. I'm not sure how much it was together, but they gave a split Mad Dog to that number 7 and Justin. But it could have been one out of any class.
Right. Well, Justin was... that's the first time I've seen a car shoved up on the wall sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like, hey, I'm just going to kind of nudge you up here on the
No,
bird.
she was plumb the fuck up on it. Yeah, she was plumb up on it. So we're going to start. I've been to California one time, a couple years ago, got to announce when Martins were still.
I've got a story about
promoted.
California, but Trey here get mad if I talk to him.
The facility is cool as shit. I mean,
It
but
looked like a track slick spot.
they slimed it, but they shortened it. Because if you watch any of the video where you were there used to be damn close to the end gates, the white cattle gates. They shortened one end probably 30 foot and the other end probably 60 foot. So they necked it down a good 90 foot of what it could be. They put a little bit of slime on the top. The guys who were going wide open, just like you said, they were a little more out of control.
Oh, yeah.
But when you got a stock class of Trey Hewer, Justin Meyer, Levi Vance, TJ Johns, Kayla Johns, and some other ones thrown in there, usually got a pretty decent show. Congratulations to Bear Cub.
Yeah.
Pulled out the win, TJ in second and Justin in third. And then, like I said, that number 7 and Justin got the Mad Dog split. Street Stock, Mr. Downtown himself, plus Lil Chody, plus Twisted T, plus Micah and Austin White, Toby Chapman, Brock Smith. Quality cars. Quality. Alan fixed his Whiskey City car, so that's what he took. We all know that Alan took a drive shaft through the floorboard. If anybody has Alan on Snapchat or Facebook, sees what the outcome of Saturday night was with brand new drive shaft that isn't even out in production yet. It was a
twisted up fucking mouth.
It was bad. It was bad. It was a prototype that Gabriel up in Minnesota tried to come up with, and the picture, if you don't look at the curve, it's a wicked ass idea. I did talk to Alan afterwards because Alan got to make one hit and it did that. So he doesn't think it's a drive shaft issue. He thinks maybe it's a output shaft issue. It had the same transmission in it, and it did it again. So that's one of those what ifs and stupid shit happening. Micah took the suicide Lincoln.
What's crazy is he had that thing over to Allen's Saturday morning, running like a top.
Mm-hmm.
Said it run good through tech. And instead of taking 3 minutes to get the motherfucker started, pull it out on track.
Yep, and then
said it was all downhill from there.
Yep. So I don't know. That's some of that. So that's some more of that stupid shit that you got to go back to the drawing board and get it figured up.
And I found out what happened to his boy. That motor was sold.
Oh.
He shut her down.
Because, like I told you on the phone Sunday, he lost every ounce of water it had. And it wasn't doing no stupid shit. It wasn't squealing. It wasn't squalling. It wasn't seizing up or nothing like that. But smart into the... Because I don't think he was going to get any better than what he finished, because he ended up third.
Right.
Then it come down to Cody and George. And George is kind of... He's going to be pissed that I said that. He stepped on it a little bit. He just put himself in a kind of a bad spot. And Cody just capitalized on it, pushed him up on the concrete.
That's how you do that shit.
Bingo. But I think Cody's got some... I think that motor gets to come out and go to Mr. Collier as well. It wasn't... He was losing oil. So after they, threw the checkered flag, I can see a little puddle. And he said it was running really flat. Where it just didn't sound crisp like a Collier motor does. We all know what they sound like. And it just didn't sound like it had the ramp. So whether it's cam or valve springs, something wasn't happy. But congratulations to Cody. I know old Twisted T was wanting that first dub without a doubt. And I didn't really get to talk to him afterwards. I don't think he was really disappointed, because he's still got a lot of car left. I mean, he can take it somewhere else. Cody's bent a little bit.
Some hard shit down there.
Yeah, there's some hard shit. There was. But everybody come out with their fingers and toes all intact, and nobody got hurt that I saw. So that's always a plus. They always live to fight another day. Your favorite compacts? Your favorite.
I ain't gonna fuck say it.
They put on a pretty decent show. They really did. They all run hard. When you got Brady Smith and Cody Bedsworth and Joshua Wood and Jordan Tobin, the Worthy boys, it was a good show. Worthy, one of the Worthies pulled it out, and I think Brady got second.
Which doesn't surprise me.
No. Gut and goes van things. I think the last 4 running were 3 vans and a Ford Ranger. Little Werdenhausen in the Ranger, he pulled off second. In it, Jacob Wood won it. I don't know who the other van was, and then Kurt Turpin, he was in a van too. So, and I still saw it. We always said we said after Shelbina, it's crazy to watch W bodies try to hit a van in the ass.
Right.
There was about a dozen of them that tried to do that instead of trying to clip them on the front wheel or whatever. Here, let's run them dead square up the ass of this van. Well, that don't work out real well.
No, because honestly, it doesn't even look as cool as whenever you do it to a round back. Or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because you get a good shot on one of them round backs that'll blow the ass end apart on it. It looks cool as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I've never got to see a van do that.
No. It just makes them harder.
Yeah.
If they're not already harder than a wooden prick anyways.
I really never thought in the 10 years that I've been in the sport, whether it was going, helping, whatever, that I'd be sitting here talking about how hard a fucking van is. But whatevs.
Well, he can't, boy does plan on going to Macon in his, no riders there. But if you wanted, he'd probably let you ride Madison if you want to feel how hard those vans really are.
I don't know whether I'll be able to make it to Madison or not.
Uh-oh.
Dirty Sanchez's wedding.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's if I went to him now, he'd probably hit me in the dick because I had to send that text message that I wasn't going to be able to make it. And I said, man, I'm sorry, I don't get to go. And I think he flipped me off or something like that.
I did think about taking the Mopar for one last ride in Macon.
In Macon?
Yeah.
That is the next show that's coming up. We did announce that MJC took Macon. We also figured out that Macon's Fair Board wasn't doing it. It's their actual fire department. They just kind of had it thrown in their lap and said, hey, let's, here we go.
Well, they called me and they were asking, what I thought about it. And I was like, I don't know, man. Junior took over, a few of mine. I said, he's worth giving a phone call to.
Yep.
I mean, he's got a killer set of rules. On the flip side of that, it did look like they lost. Shelbina decided not to do a second derby. And I don't know if that has anything to do with each other. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying
we've also talked about that as well, off air as well as on. Not every little town needs 2 derbies.
Right.
They never used to have it.
It worked good for me. I mean, it was a good. It worked with my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It worked great with my schedule. I mean, shit, the first year we had 90 cars there.
101.
Yeah, that's right. We had 101 there.
101. But then there is that scenario that as soon as you do it once, they kind of expect the same shit from then on out.
Yeah.
You've got Macon the weekend before, and then if you're going to have Shelbina, then you've got P Hill the weekend after.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that is Madison. And then the same weekend as Macon is Slater. So
that's what I'm saying. There's so much they're trying to cram into a month there.
We thought that was maybe going to be our kind of a slowdown just for a little bit, and not really.
Well, like I said, I'd really like to get this Mopar finished off, and even if I don't run it, I'm going to send it somewhere with somebody. Depends on if I'm freed up, I'm gonna go run it. If not, somebody will be in that car at one of those derbies. I gotta get my shit out of it.
Yup. Your GM shit.
Shut up.
Does that like?
It stings a little bit.
I was okay. I was just gonna make sure. Since you finally came to the good side.
You know, it's that type of pain like whenever you eat a bunch of salt and vinegar chips.
And then you bite your cheek.
Well, or after that, you know, you take a drink of like a spicy Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
It's that kind of pain. So it's not nothing you can't handle, but it's there.
Just wasn't quite ready for it.
Right.
One of them. It's kind of like
That's why everybody's gonna shit this next car where you get it picked out, and it's not a Mopar.
It is not a Mopar. That sting even worse.
Not really. I've been wanting to do it for a little while anyway.
Yeah.
Look at that 9802 Life for a minute.
For a minute.
I bought 3 of them.
I was gonna say I thought you were going to the next year up.
I was going to. I want to see what everybody's gonna do rule wise next year before I buy any more of them.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I really don't foresee them. Everybody outlawing them again.
Right, but this is the last time I'm cutting on my fucking rear end. I can tell you that. I will buy another rear end.
Buy another rear end. Buy another one.
This will be the third time I've cut brackets off this motherfucker.
Yeah, and sticking it on top of leaf springs does kind of suck balls.
That was rough. Because I bought, you know, it was one of those scenarios. Hey, man, I got this rear end. It's already been jigged. Blah, blah, blah. Put that motherfucker in there. You were there. That pinion
Wasn't even
angle
close.
was fucked.
Pinion angle was pointing at the package tray.
Yeah, I was like, we can't do that. And they're like, well, maybe we can rotate them on these fucking, you know, on the shackles. I was like, fuck you. Give me a goddamn torch. So here we pull this motherfucker back apart.
Cut it off, grind it down, re-weld, remeasure, put it back in.
It's right for leaf springs now until I cut the fucking brackets off everything.
Yep.
Which I think for that 9802, I don't know, I'm going to have to look, but it didn't look like it was going to work because that Mopar, the leaf springs were narrow enough. I think they're going to be in the way of my lower control arms.
So you're going to have to cut them off.
I don't think so. God damn it. You don't know how bad I have to do that.
That's when it's nice to have a set of like postal leaf spring.
Well, I haven't completely ruled out just buying another housing and throwing my shit over in it.
Yeah.
Because I've got a good third member and all that bullshit.
So next up for us to go to watch or announce, son of a bitch. I said announce.
For somebody that's fucking retiring from announcing, they're announcing a lot of fucking
Shut your face. I'm going to announce it on here.
I mean, you're a pretty good announcer. Go ahead.
I'm officially have zero plans on announcing any shows next year but one.
Right.
Unless...
He said that last year, too.
We said a lot of shit last year. We said a lot of shit. We have talked that to do the coverage that we need to do to make this work, I can't be tied down.
Not on weekends.
To a Madison show, to a Shelbina show, right. To a Macon show, wherever. Because if we get the offer, hey, don't you guys want to come back out here to Utah? Fuck you, fuck yes, gone. Sorry, dudes, I'm not a down. So I'm going to tell them at the end of this year, I'm going to tell everybody, guys, I'm sorry, I will not be announcing.
And if I get to run 3 more times this year like I'm planning on.
You want to run 3 more times this year?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you didn't tell me that.
Well, if that's the case, and I don't know. Like, I mean, I've talked to a lot of different people, but I've fucking thoroughly enjoyed getting to run.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have. I've had a goddamn blast. You know, it definitely felt like I got to pull back and enjoy the sport enjoy the parts of the sport that got me into loving the sport.
Yeah.
Because I promise you it wasn't promoting that got me into this fucking shit. I have promoted for the greater good. Because I catch a lot of shit over, well, you were letting this one do this. No, I wasn't. I mean, I was never intentionally biased at any show because I was trying to better the sport.
But there's always going to be that dick kicker.
All the time.
That would bitch and complain if you fucked him with a golden dick.
Right.
Period.
100%.
So...
But that's
damned
what I'm
if
saying.
you do, damned if you don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, getting to run this year, out at Whiskey City, I know I had shit luck out there. Coming back home, we put the fucking thing back together, went to Madison. I had a fucking blast. Bad luck took me out there. Finally got, went to Huntsville, pulled off W. No, it was a low car count, whatever. Finally got in the winner's circle.
Yeah.
Fucking blast.
But the check was nice, and I'm not going to say it wasn't. The check was nice, but that probably wasn't even what excited you.
Well, fuck no. It was finally, the hard work and shit had finally paid off. Like, regardless if there was 3 cars there or 30, like, that was my shit. That was my setup. That was the shit I put together. That was the car I built. And it had enough to be there at the end of it.
Yeah.
Which I've been close before. Over the last 4 years, I've had, I think, like 4 fucking 4th place finishes. You're just like, and that shit's discouraging. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yeah, it's nice to be up in there, but whenever you get down to it, it's not enough.
It's going to have, I mean, like I said, talking about Twisted Tea in California, I'm sure he's kicking himself in the ass.
And you will.
But his time will come. He'll get that. And when it happens...
But, I've had several people tell me, you can't win if you don't show up.
Exactly. I ain't never seen nobody win from the fucking garage.
These are facts.
Ever.
So that's kind of what pushed me in that direction. I know that I've had a lot of phone calls, hey, if you come back doing it, I want you to do this show and this show and this show. And I'm like, you all are already about 15 steps ahead of where I want to be. Because I don't know that I will even have 2 shows. I'm going to try to find a rule set that matches up with everybody. People will have a place to go with their cars afterwards. Because if I can't come to a common ground with somebody on a set of rules where I can send these guys after I do this team show, there's no sense in fucking doing it.
Correct.
Because that's not what this sport's about. That's not the direction I'm trying to take this sport.
Me and you had talked. There's been so many people that were sending texts and Snapchats and wanting this, do this many plates, this, allow this. And we even said it before our episode last week. You can't do that. You can't do that just for the simple fact that these guys do need to have someplace to go.
Well, and I know I've fucked with Huff a lot on this podcast. I do have to give him a little bit of acknowledgement because the motherfucker did message me and was talking about rules. Swag, Josh Wagner, he got a hold of me. Hey, before all this shit drops, let's sit down. Well, I would be more than glad to send the motherfuckers his way.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So maybe we can get Junior involved in this. Just because I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody else. I'm going to say that until I'm fucking blue in the face. If I get 150 cars there, which is what I want to be able to turn them into the wild. Mm-hmm. I want to turn them loose. After that, so they've got somewhere to run around here.
I don't like watching guys build for one show and then turn around and put it in the shop until next year because they don't have no place to go with it.
And I'm not going to do that to them. I want to give them big money payouts to start the year off with, and then you've got a baseline to go run the rest of your year with.
Yes.
How many fucking cars do we have come back to all of our shows from Mother's Day Madness?
A lot.
A shit ton.
A lot.
That's what I want to do.
And it was actually broke down all the way through the year, too.
Yes.
Because we saw some guys that ran at the beginning of the year. They
hurt their shit,
or they're pretty busy during the summer with family vacations and whatnot. And then they come out in the fall.
Yeah. But I'm wanting to do that for somebody else. Like, help me help you.
Yep. Yeah.
So hopefully we can make that shit work. Because like I said, if I can't get somebody on board, I don't know if it's even worth the time fucking with. Or actually the headache for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, this sounds terrible saying this, but it ain't no sweat off my nuts. If they do have to go park in the weeds. But I don't want to have to do that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, on another subject, we do have a guest. We're getting him over the phone. He's a long ways away. He ran Wasatch Wipeout in a nasty fucking 03. Then went to, hopefully I pronounce this right, Juab, Juab. So let's just let him tell us all about it. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Utah.
Richfield, right?
Richfield, Utah, Mr.
Yep.
Chantz Ogden. What is up, man?
Oh, just living the life, hanging out.
Cashing great big fat checks.
Yeah, that's pretty nice to finally get a big one.
I got a question. Is that check heavier than a normal check?
I've never had a big check like that handed out to me, and I've never had a big check written to me either, so we'll know when it hits the bank account.
Well, we're going to jump off in here, man. We know you've been running out to Utah. How did you get your start in this badass sport that we all love so much?
So my grandpa, he started derbying in the early 70s. And so, and then my dad, my uncles all have done it. And so I'm just following in their footsteps. We all started driving when we were like 15 years old. And just, I've been in it since I could literally walk and crawl into a shop and grab tools, help any way I can. So, yeah, it's just pretty much a family thing we've done forever, third generation, and I'm sure my kids will be right there when they're ready to do it.
You know, we're getting ready to take our first trip to Utah, and that's why I thought it was so cool that we were going to get you on here about this time. But let's go back to Wasatch County. Wasatch Wipeout.
Yeah.
Me and you conversed. Me and you conversed a little bit before the show. You had a nasty ride. Just didn't quite work out in the heat for you.
No, so in the rules, there's some things that obviously a lot of people saw what I had to cut on the back of my car.
All of it?
In the rules on this. Yeah, all of it. So back end didn't really go how I wanted it to, but Chris and Sam were super willing to work with me, and I was just honest what happened, what I did to it, but there's some things on the steering components on 03 that I was a little skeptical on. They just said no alternating lengths of the steering, so like I shortened my center length, but I didn't sleeve it, and so that was my fault. So instantly, just steering on those 03s are pretty hard to mess with, anyways. So we just lost that pretty quick. Well, about halfway through, I really lost it when I tried to take some dumb shots on Graham Barker. So, but yeah, he was not the best driving for me, but he always done in derbies.
Oh yeah, we've got some buddies, and we've talked about it before. You never really lose; you learn.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, we didn't have too much work after the heat though, just some steering stuff and 2 plates on it, and then we were ready to go again for the grudge. So.
And you got through the grudge, you got your ride to the main, and then you got the unfortunate event of getting scooped up like a fucking dump truck and got put on your lid. Which they did announce that once you got over once, you were done. Like in the years prior, what was it, 2 or however many you wanted, as long as it was safe to get back in?
So Utah's been pretty much, if you get rolled over, they just call it the ultimate kill shot. And if you roll someone, you're done. But if you roll yourself, if it means it's safe, like you were safe to go again, then you can hop back in the car. But if you roll someone like how I got rolled, then it's just an ultimate kill shot and you're out. So, it's kind of cool, makes it really entertaining for the fans. I think that's one reason why we have it, how good we have it in Utah, is because our fans, like the last 3 weekends, we've had shows with over 10,000 people in the stands, plus other shows that were sold out in other areas of the state. So,
and that's right there. What's good? I'm ready to come out. I'm ready to get the fuck out there.
Yeah.
Well,
we're pretty lucky. So,
now that next question is, I know you guys have stupid big unreal payouts out there. 8, 10, 15,000 with $5,000 Mad Dog, or how do you guys figure out which shows that you're gonna? Do you try to schedule them, or is it just kind of hit and miss? However, the wife and the kid thing goes, or work and car prep.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of just more. Like I have a couple buddies that I'm really good friends with. We try to hit the same shows just so we can run together and have a good time. But even the years past, it's just what rules that you like the best. Because Stern Dirt, they have really good set of rules and they're awesome people. I don't run their stuff as much just because they're more on the stock side of the builds, and I like the more heavier builds. You get the kickers, 80 cars, hump plates, and spindles and cam bars to the frame and everything. So just try to find those shows, and let's just kind of, the first 3 weekends of August are going to be crazy with the last weekend of July, and then the next 3 weekends of August are just pretty much gung-ho for derby in Utah. That's when all the county fairs happen in Utah pretty much, just those 3-4 weeks. So we just plan on that, and we just don't plan anything.
That's when all hell breaks loose. Right? That's when all hell breaks loose. That's when it's all hands on deck, trying to get it fixed for the next one, and then the next one, and then you can finally take a little bit of a breather and come up to Salt Lake City in September and hang out with us.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to be trying. I'm definitely going to be trying to make that one just so we can finally meet in person. And I like going out to watch Stern Dirt shows, but definitely the driving styles are a little bit different because the car's a little bit softer, but they get some of those speeds that like the send it. So it's always a good time when it's going to any derby, in my opinion.
Now, in my opinion, you kind of got a little bit of a godsend because, you did get put on your lid at Wasatch, but you didn't ruin a car when you did that. So you got to take it, am I pronouncing this correct, Juab?
Yeah, Juab. So I didn't really post much about what was going on. So I actually, Monday after I got off work, before, like last week, I pulled my car into the shop in Wasatch. I went to turn my motor over and it was locked up because there was about 4 inches of dirt in my cylinder 4.
Oh, shit.
So I called my engine builder, and he came straight down, and we got that thing torn apart and got it cleaned up as good as we could. And he was there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before the show, so we can get that thing up and ready to go. So I had a little bit of work. It was more just engine work, and I honestly didn't even throw any more plates on the car or anything. I had 6 plates I could throw on the car, and I just want to see how that thing bends. It's my first 03 newer, so I want to see where it bends without plates.
Well, I got the picture before, the one that you sent me, and I told you it was a wicked looking bitch. And just how you did everything in the front, the pictures that I saw, it looked like you did it right, and it doesn't look like that was your first 03, but I'm going to say this, I don't think that'll probably be your last 03.
Yeah, I've helped with some 03s, but this is like my first 03. We've only done bolt-in cradles until this year. I've only done a bolt-in cradle with the people that have helped build them, but I've definitely taken my time and going out to Blizzard Bash and studying them, making sure I did it right. I didn't want to half-ass this build. I pulled the frame in December, so.
Well, I'm going to ask you like I've asked all the other 03 guys. Was it as nasty and as hard up front as you wanted it to be?
I was actually really impressed. Well, it snapped. I don't know if you saw the after picture of my car from Juab, but both the ends on my half-inch were snapped clean off.
Oh shit!
So yeah, I pulled into the finals at Juab and was like, I looked over and I was getting wet by my training cooler. My training cooler had a pinhole in it, started shooting up. So I was like, I got 5 minutes just to put this into the floor to test this car. And somehow I got lucky. So, but yeah, they're definitely hard. There's some things I'll definitely change on them for the next build. But I'm very impressed with them. As long as the rules stay how they are, I think I'll stay in a 03 Miller.
Now, the next build, you'll know not to where you have to cut the whole top of your rear frame rails out.
Yeah, I wanted to go there to prove a point to some of the guys that I get along with, but they just had the numbers over me the last couple of years, and I wanted to come with the car that was going to be hard front and back, and they didn't know what hit them, but I didn't do a good enough job. Chris caught it pretty. I messed up in a couple little spots when I tapped the back rails, and Chris caught those spots, and then also fresh paint in the inside of the rails kind of gave it away too. So
you live and learn.
Yep, we live and learn, and I won't do it again, but we'll definitely be ready with a little bit different tricks for the years coming. So
now, what they said on all the live feed for the Wasatch show was, I didn't realize this, Utah has a pretty big pecking order. Because I mean, there was guys from hometown, there was guys from both Heber cities were going at it because there was that pecking order. How do you guys figure out how to get around that said pecking order?
So the last couple of years, like the Heber boys, they just they're all good buddies up there, which we gotta. So right now, I feel like it's like Heber boys, and then the Central Utah boys. But it's like me, it's Jared Johnson. There's a bunch of us in that area, and we're all younger. I'm 27, Jared's 19, his brother's 22, 23, and then you got there's a bunch of us that are under 25 and or under 30 out of that. So, and then you got those like TJ, Brad Bowman, Ryan Sweat, the Keith Crash guys that have ran forever, and
the old school guys.
The old school guys that are trying to, they're still kicking butt. They're still bringing home paychecks, and so they got their little group, and for a long time they just had the numbers over. Pretty much, it was like me and a couple other guys, but now I think it's something that the pecking order is not as bad this year. I felt like, but it definitely there definitely has been a pecking order before, but I didn't feel like it was that bad this year because I think everyone had it more sense for themselves because Central Utah had quite a bit of numbers at Wasatch to compete, so they couldn't more get the team driving started. So,
well, you had the Johnson boy in that wagon that was just fucking nasty.
Yeah, it is. The kid is changing the sport in Utah. He's one reason, like, he helped me a lot on my car, showing me tricks, and he's the one that showed me how to do my trunk. I had no idea where to even start on just the body of the trunk, and he walked me, like, he helped me through it, and he's that kid. For 19 years old, people better watch out because that kid can build some cars.
So now, I mean, you're just saying that right there at the age of 19, he is getting ready to blow on a national scene in a hurry.
Yes.
Not just a Utah scene. Now he's going to be moving.
He's climbing quick, and I honestly think he can go compete anywhere and do just fine. Like, he drives hard. He built top-notch cars. He has a good drivetrain, everything. Like, he's definitely no slouch, and I think he proved to a lot of people this last year, or this year, and like at Wasatch, that he's not be messed with.
Hell, we might have to get him on here.
He's one of my best friends. He's going out to help Dalen Brown build some trunks here in the next couple weeks and stuff. So he's definitely hit the national scene just with traveling to help some guys out build cars and stuff already. So
yeah, I mean, Dalen doesn't know nothing about new styles, but he's so gonna kick me in the dick.
I've talked to him a little bit. I haven't talked to him a lot, but I have nothing bad to say about any derby driver, really. They all are badasses for doing this sport, in my opinion.
Yep, yeah. Well, man, you went to Juab. You pulled off a big ass check, but it wasn't one of your buddies that was in the top 3 with you?
Yeah, so Tyson Shelley, he's another one of my good friends. It's Derek Shelley's boy. Yeah. He pulled off the top 3, and I couldn't be more proud of like how he drove and everything, dude. For that night, it was my first time my 2-year-old got to see me drive, so that's cool.
How did that work out for you? Because my 3-year-old daughter got to watch me run out at Whiskey City on TV, and she was freaking out. Like, she didn't like it.
So I got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Both of them are just die-hard motor fans. Like, that's all they care about. They just, like, my 3-year-old, that's all he talks about for like all year long. Derby cars, dirt bikes. So I grew up racing dirt bikes. My family's big into dirt bikes and derby cars and stuff. So that's just our life. We just nonstop dirt bikes, derby cars, anything, monster trucks. They just love it. So they just want to be going to something, watching that, and everything's more hard on my wife and the grandmas when they're watching the kids in the fence because they don't want to sit still. They just want to be going and coming out with me. But kind of hard when you're working on cars and driving. So.
Well, it sounds like you've got a hell of a support system to do what you do with a very supportive wife. You've got a couple little rugrats that are all about it. And, do you see maybe one of them getting ready to start in a few years in that youth class, or is that something that's not really big in Utah yet with like all the youth stuff?
Yeah, so my wife, I couldn't ask for a better wife. She's in nursing school right now, plus letting me get stuff done on cars, spending 2-3 days, like nights, away from the kids sometimes and still passing nursing school. Like, you can't ask for a better wife, in my opinion. So, but the youth class, they don't start until about, I think 12, the minimum age for here. So we're still a ways away, but I'm actually going to go buy my kid a Power Wheels, my 3-year-old Power Wheels, and so let him do some Power Wheel 30s and stuff, and just let him go cruise that, and get my 2-year-old one too, and so they can just crash. I'm sure they're going to destroy each other sometime in the future.
Yeah, I've got a 2 and a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl, and then a 12-year-old boy. Well, the 2 and the 3-year-old are already just demolishing Hot Wheels. I mean, I bought him a couple of those Derby packs the other day, and my 2-year-old has been in there running it into everything in my living room.
Yeah, we have these Strider bikes. They're like a balance bike that they can ride around, they push around.
Yeah.
Those kids, we got holes in the wall and then just right on the walls as hard as they can. They just think it's funny.
Well,
and then they run into each other.
Oh yeah, I've got to get my 2-year-old. Me and him are gonna have to sit down and have a talk because every time he goes to the shop with me, he sees my Mopar sitting out there. He's like, "Jump, Daddy, jump!" And I'm like, "Hey, easy."
2-year-old throwing shit at you.
Yeah, that's funny. No, there's nothing wrong with a Mopar. I ran Mopar motors for a long time. I've only ran one Mopar car, and it was my first car. It was a 76 Dova.
Not a bad first car.
No, it's not.
Yeah, then we went to the dark side and started with Vicks. Been building Vicks for 11 years now.
I guess that's Derek has finally talked me into it. I guess that's where I'm headed next. I'm finally out of Mopars. I've used up all my M bodies and R bodies.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Well, it's hard to find like old iron down here because you've got some of the bigger names that got more money than me that I can't afford to go buy the old iron. So I just stick to these new styles that I can just get for $200.
That's what we've been running into around here too. Well, scrap hurt everything around here so bad. So, all the old farmers and stuff that had, old iron sitting back in fence rows that were okay cars. Scrap got up to $290 a ton, and they were hauling that shit as fast as they could.
Geez, we need your scrap prices. Our scrap prices are like $15 a ton, it feels like.
Well,
I get like $75 for like a Crown Vic with a full cage in it.
Holy shit! Yeah,
y'all get ass raped.
We're still doing a little better than that right now.
I think we're at like 140-ish right now. It'll play. Well, Chantz, other than you coming up to hang out with us in September, we hope, you got anything else on the schedule for the year, or is it chill time?
I'm gonna go look at my car probably tomorrow, see what I need to do to get it ready for another just county fair show. It's just a one and done. I don't know if I'm gonna be running it. I might let one of my buddies run it. That he's been in my pit crew for the last couple of years, and he had a car, but he sold it, and so I just kind of might repay and let him drive my car if it fits a bit. And it's just more helping my buddies get ready for Gold Rush. Got Jared Johnson and Mark Lazenby's just going to try to help them get their cars ready to go for Gold Rush any way I can help them. So
that's, other than the Utah trip, I mean, we've got some good stuff around here, but everybody is really prepping and priming for the Gold Rush. And that's...
Well, and some Blizzard Bash. I mean, we got some guys that are teeing off for Blizzard Bash.
But we can't do it all. So we've kind of decided to pick, hey, let's go.
Well, that whole Utah deal kind of threw a wrench in.
Are you going to blame me now?
I mean, I'm good with it. I'm just saying that.
But no, just the opportunity that we get to have, and seeing all our buddies going up to Gold Rush, whether it's in the single setting or the team settings, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of strategies played out with these buddies, because you've got a guy that you just said, Mr. Johnson, is actually coming this direction, how to do some trunks, and where Dalen has been talking to him about how to do some new style stuff, where those guys could actually run together in that setting to try to come out victorious either way.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be cool because you got the West Coast, a couple West Coast guys coming, and really they all can drive hard, and you got those East Coast boys that they drive hard too, but they got a little bit different driving style than us. I feel like we're starting to go that way a little bit, but we still like to put it to the floor and drive circles sometimes.
Well, is it something in the water? Because I have personally said, just going back and watching all this older Utah footage just from a few years ago, it looks like you guys don't give a single motherfuck
about anything.
There's those guys that don't like. I know you guys see a lot of Robbie Layton videos. Robbie, he's an adamant. He put it to the floor, and I feel like you get a couple of guys that do put it to the floor, and then you have to change the pace. Like, I've tried to slow it down before, and I was actually trying to slow it down a little bit for at Wasatch, and look what happened. I ended up on my top because I was trying to slow it down, and there was other guys that didn't want to slow it down. So there's derbies that play both ways, but I don't know. I don't know if it's the crowd that just get because I didn't really have any intentions to even go for a win at Juab. I was actually going to just go put it to the floor, and so we definitely.
It's just the pace is crazy out there. I mean, everything's so fast paced because, like I said, we've talked about it on here a lot. We've got some guys around here that run like that. We got Case and Colt Doyle. They get nasty with it. PJ Snar, Dalen, Cody, Allen. Hell, you see Rob Hewer and shit turn it up.
But it's like these guys got 40 of them motherfuckers on the track at all times and doing the same shit.
Just wide open.
Yeah. No, I actually was talking to PJ. I sent him a snap Friday. I was like, dude, why do I put my plates on this thing? Because he got a lot of experience with O3s and stuff. I'm pretty good friends with Rob and Teddy and them. I talk to them quite a bit on Snapchat and stuff, and they're all the derby scene. It's crazy how far I'm 1,600 miles away from you guys, and it's like, and I can consider you guys all friends because it's like, and
and social media helps with that, like a shit ton, because I see your post on Facebook and I know that you all see our stuff out here. It's like whenever we go meet new people, like yourself and all these other guys, it's not like even know.
Yeah, it's not even awkward. You just walk up to them, dude, what's up?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's my first year going to Blizzard Bash. So I met like Tommy Stark and Rob Hewer and Eddie Chick, and those guys are awesome. Like I every time I see Tommy, it's like we just saw each other the other day. And same with Eddie. I talk to Eddie. We'll message Eddie once in a while and see how he's doing and stuff. And just it's pretty cool to see.
Well, he's like 106 now.
He's just crouching in old. Like he's good.
He's gonna throw shit at us. I'm out there. No, but man, we need to catch up in September if you can make that happen.
Yeah, the 16th, right?
Yes. My editor / wife is sitting right next to me, and I'm gonna inform her for the first time. I have every intention of coming to Wasatch Wipeout next year. So I want to see two different ends of the spectrum. I want to see a light wheel build, and I want to see everything thrown at a car.
Yeah, we definitely get spoiled with the varieties of rules we got. I mean, you guys have it too, but I feel like it's more street stock out there. So we get like Stern Dirt's kind of street stock, but then you get like Wasatch County, Utah County. That's the Spanish Sport Show that Joker puts on, and then Juab, and I think total payout between the three shows was over $500,000 between the three shows.
Jesus Christ. $500,000 in 3 shows.
And it's back-to-back weekends. Like Ryan Schwab, he came out, he ran, he had some bad luck with some stuff, but he ran all 3 weekends. Like Sam Bando comes out, runs all 3 weekends. Like I think the one year I know TJ McGee, I think he got like second at Wasatch, won Spanish Sport, and then got like second or something at Juab, and he came home with like $50,000.
You can back up some old iron doing that shit. You can really stockpile your old iron winning 50 G's in a month.
Oh yeah. No, I'm pumped with the 10 G's, but I'm pretty sure it's already blowing. So
Well, you did say your motor builder was at your house for 4 days.
Yeah, he's super good. He built Jared Johnson's motors, Garrett Shelley's motors. I can't ask for a better engine builder. Really, he was like 45 minutes, less than 45 minutes away from me, and for him to drive down and help me out for 4 nights, pretty much, get this thing ready. It's pretty awesome, in my opinion.
Well, all the work paid off is what it looked like.
Yep, and finally, it's been a long time. I've won small shows, but nothing big. So I'm happy to finally get a big show win.
Well, I told Derek that if it wasn't for fear of a divorce, I probably would have bought Justin Broadhead's car since we're going out there, just so I could say I've run in Utah.
Oh, well, should have bought it, and I could have went and grabbed it, and we could have got it running and everything.
Yeah, my wife put the brakes on that shit real quick. She was like, you remember 4 years ago when we got married and we didn't go on a honeymoon? And you said that we would catch up with that? Yeah, we're not buying a $6,500 car to go to a fucking derby in Utah. I was like, fine, shit.
Shit, I think you get $1,000 just for showing up to that show.
That's what I said.
Just for passing, you got to pass tech.
Yeah, you just got to pass tech and you get $1,000.
That's what I told her that she didn't get.
So that went to a $5,500 car.
Yeah. Then you just leave it out here and then just catch some cheap flights for the other shows and just run it until it's junk.
Yep, and then sell the drivetrain to somebody out there and wipe the slate clean.
Yeah, we were actually going to do something like that. Me and my uncle Danny, he did a lot of raffle cars and stuff for like Josh Decker and that San Filippo show. He was actually going to do that, take a drivetrain and everything and ship it out to out there and get it on drivetrain and stuff. But he decided to sell out, which I don't blame him. He's been doing it for a long time. So.
Well, man, like I said, we hope you can make that trip up on the morning of the 16th. We're going to land, I think, at like 3:30 Friday afternoon, and then we're going to get to go straight to work from the hotel. So I think we're going to have a little dead time Saturday morning. So
that's my game plan, because I got to drink a couple beers somewhere.
Well, I'll see what we can do. If you guys fly in Friday, we can hit some good old taco shops up there and give you a little tour of Salt Lake and stuff. It's pretty cool. There's some good places to eat up there, and there's some good bars that have some homemade beer and stuff. So
game the fuck on.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Man, we appreciate you getting on, dude. We appreciate the shit out of you getting on with us. I know we've had to try this. I've had this planned for probably a couple months, but I just, like I told Steven, this just got planned out at the absolute perfect time after last weekend, and congrats on that big ass win. We hope to see you 15th or the 16th, and
see you in a month.
Yeah, we'll see you in a month, we hope.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. Thanks for spreading the Derby game across the country. I think this is pretty cool. So I really appreciate it. So.
We thank you, dude, and hopefully in a month we'll see you, man.
Yeah, we'll see you then. We'll have a good night.
All right, thanks, Chantz.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
There he was.
Yep.
Mr. 903.
We were talking, during the Wasatch stuff, and
I want to go out there more, because them motherfuckers like to take us places. Every time we go around here, people are like, all right, it's time for you motherfuckers to get out of here.
Or you're going to work first and then get out of here. But that just, he kind of answered it, because we've been saying these dudes are out there, they're just wide the fuck open. And then the cliques, the groups, the OGs against the young guns. And I know it's separated by probably a town and maybe just 100 miles or so. Strength in numbers. So you're talking OGs who have been in the game for a long time, like the CJ McPhee, his group. And now you've got these young guns like Chantz and the Johnson boys, and that you're only going to see better shows, because you're not going to see one group just walk the dog on another group. Now you're going to see them battling it out. Who's going to outdrive who shit's going to last the longest.
But what's still cool as shit about that is, like he just said, they'll all still help each other.
Yeah, yes. I mean, would you ever imagine that a guy from New London is having a guy from Utah fly in to help him on a build?
Well, and just like Chantz said, he snapped PJ.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I put these planes?
Correct.
That's what this podcast right here, this is the shit we were talking about. This is what we want people to know about.
Yep.
Because they're like, oh, they're just a bunch of fucking rednecks running cars into each other. It's bigger than that.
Times 100.
We are a bunch of rednecks running cars into each other, helping each other all the way across the United States. And Canada. Don't forget about Canada.
Knowing the law of physics. Because we said it. This game is physics, geometry, fuck algebra. That's out. But those two, geometry and physics.
Nobody wants to know where my ex is. They're trying to find my fucking ex.
No, she's an ex for a reason. Crazy bitch. But
and I did call her bitch because I do know her name.
But he meant it with the utmost respect.
I meant that with the utmost disrespect.
But no, that's, we have talked about it personally. The Stern Dirt is a little bit lighter build. They call them light welds. I haven't really dug into the rules.
I did do some looking at the rule, and it's really cool because it's, I would call it a blend of our like stock and street stock class.
No protectors.
Well, yeah, and it's there's a little bit more. Like, you'll have to check the rules out, but that's what I would call it a blend of. And whenever I say our stock rules, I'm talking about, back whenever, like, our filthy rules. Tank protector stuff, shit like that, plates. It's a cool build. It's like we've talked before. A lot of guys like that build. You talk to people like him that they like that harder shit. We've got people around here that like the harder stuff.
But 03 with kickers, I wouldn't ever think they even needed fucking plates. Really.
Well, I mean, you build anything hard enough,
it's going to bend somewhere.
It's got to.
Yeah. And, just like he said, he snapped PJ.
Yeah, well, Tommy Stark had a bad motherfucking 03.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been a few years back, like before 03s were 03s.
Before 03s came back.
Yeah. Whenever he run in, Salisbury against Rob and the Cadillacs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I mean, like, it was holding its own there, Well, I was there that night. Riggs.
Zach Riggs' exact words were,
I will never get in another one of these motherfuckers with you, Tommy Stark. Verbatim.
It knocked his fucking Crocs off.
Yes, it did.
Oh, yes.
I will never forget that night.
He said, fuck that.
Well, Tommy was sailing that bitch across that track, and Rob was like, fuck it. Let's do it.
Yep.
And he spun that Cadillac around down there at the other end and met him on the business end.
Business end to business end.
And sparks and
shit flew everywhere.
Crocs.
All Riggs on his Crocs. Yeah.
But yeah, that shit was wild.
Thanks, Chantz, for getting on here, bringing some light. And like I said, congrats on that. But here's the weird thing. We were talking, and the world can see his check was $10,000.
She got it.
Mad Dog paid 11. And that's what he said, because he's like, they told me if I wouldn't have won, I would have got the Mad Dog. So if he would have got second plus the Mad Dog, that would have been like 16 grand. But he said that it's a kid, younger kid. He got the Mad Dog. He doesn't have the best equipment out there, because we all kind of know if you're going to play that game, you better know how to build good shit or have some pretty deep pockets. But I think this kid is on the lower end of the build and the shit. He got the Mad Dog for it. And like Chance told me, he's like, dude, I was so happy for him. I said, because it's a younger kid trying to get his setup to where it needs to be, knowing that $11,000 is going to help that.
Right.
Whether it's transmission. I mean, 11 G's, he's got a killer transmission and a rear end and a really good short block for 11 grand. So he can progress. He can build his shit up, or he can go buy a whole new setup. It's completely whatever he wants to do. But, Chance being Chance, he liked that just about as much as he did winning it. So we want to thank him for getting on, taking his time out. I know he's an hour behind us. So I think he just got home from work and got maybe a little bit dinner. And like he said, he's going to go down to the shop tomorrow and see if it's fixable.
Let one of his buddies run it.
Yep. Let him full send that bitch. Because I'm telling you, it's hard. It is hard. Hard. So.
What I love about all this, and time again, I repeat myself when I say it, how humble these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, I mean, like, we've never actually met those guys.
No.
I think I actually might have met
Chance at Blizzard Bash.
But I was probably fucking annihilated. But just like that, yeah. Let me know whenever y'all get landed. Take you around, show you what's up.
I'm going to have to tell Johnny, we got to hurry the fuck up with this podcast, bro. We got shit to do.
Who's going to do a short one today?
We got shit to do.
I'm thinking about maybe just accidentally leaving this shit at home. Oh, man, we was going to do a podcast out there.
We couldn't get that shit through TSA. Steven was carrying it. He did a cavity search.
I could only keister 3 mics.
Steven couldn't make it through with the backpack on.
He could not make it through with a backpack on.
But how you know, I mean, seriously, like that right there, like that fucking, it blows my mind.
Mm-hmm. This is one thing that we were really looking forward to.
This is what I wanted this podcast to do.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the opportunity to go places that we weren't going to have the opportunity to do.
I talked. I mean, she's heard me talk about it. You know, I'd love to go out
I've
there.
talked about the shit, you know, but now we've got a reason.
Yep.
And it's starting to get us the proposals we were looking for.
Yep.
Because all that it's doing with these guys, whenever they invite us places like this, you know, Johnny, his crew, badass, you know, hey, we'll put you all up. You just get your ass out here.
Yep.
It, like I said, it's breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking cool. They're helping us be more informative. They're helping us make this more enjoyable, broadening everybody's horizon. I mean, without the opportunity to do that, we've got nothing for the listeners.
Yeah, I mean, we can sit there and we can go to all these local shows, and we're going to cover the same guys all the time.
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still going to do that. But the better we can educate ourselves on what's going on inside the Derby world with that real life experience, we get to go meet these guys. We're going to sit down with them face to face for the listeners. The listeners that keep downloading, the ones that are telling their buddies, hey,
Yep.
listen to this. You know, these guys are dumbasses, but there's a few things in here that you might want to hear.
It could be your comedic relief for the week.
But it's...
Here's what's cool. We did talk before. Old Bud's podcast is flying out the same weekend to Utah as we are.
They're taking the long way.
They've got a couple stops on the way there and back. I've been informed Jeremy Petty from Washington is flying out as well.
Hey, we've been saying.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that dude, I don't know whether we've got to wait.
This motherfucker posts before I do here. I post here at 5:45 every Thursday morning. 2 weeks in a row, his shit was out and shared before I could even share it.
Maybe
So-
you need to get up earlier.
Man, you need to fuck all the way off.
I
I
mean,
meant that
dude-
with full amount of respect.
I mean, that dude has been ridiculously supportive.
Yes.
I mean,
He's got a son on it now.
oh, really?
Yeah, high school football player.
Oh,
Yeah, he messages me. He's like, man, I love your podcast.
sorry, buddy.
We'll teach him things that he won't learn in Port Angeles, Washington. High school.
But it's just, it's insane. The amount of downloads that we're getting, the support from these big-time promoters, Sam Williams.
Johnny Gulo.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Sam today because I was like, hey, man, is there any way I can get another seat? You know, my wife, I think she's going to be able to come with me to South Dakota. And he was like, of course. She's way cooler than you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, buddy.
One thing that we did launch.
A little merchandise.
Yes. TB Creations will still do the cups, the koozies, that stuff, but the shirts, the hoodies, the hats, you can order right off that link.
And you can always hit us up if you're looking for something different.
Correct.
We can make about whatever you want.
Possibilities are endless.
Sky's the limit with that stuff. Do you have any of the price? Oh, we've got these badass keychains. They're funny because they've got us on. Like our faces. Right
yes.
I thought people would enjoy that.
And like I said,
I mean, Dale Colbert used it for 2 derbies for a fucking Target.
I was going to say that.
You know, so no telling what anybody else will be able to want to do with it.
So we'll probably have some of this stuff with us when we're in Utah.
Since we're flying, I don't think we'll be able to take a lot of.
We won't be able
big
to take
stuff
much.
with us,
Right.
But we'll have like the soft koozies and
Yes.
keychains at least.
Because I'll put them soft koozies. I'll wear cargo shorts or something.
But the link is shared through Hard Nose. I believe it was shared through my page and your page as well.
Plus, I think the other 15 shares we got off of all that.
Yeah.
So it's out there. Check the interweb.
Short sleeve t-shirts going to cost you $25 plus shipping. Long sleeve t-shirts $25 plus
Go ahead
shipping.
and tell them the cool thing about the sizes, though, that not a lot of people are doing.
The sizes are the same price across the board. Whether
There are 2 shirts that are $2 more because I absolutely could not get them.
so I think it's normal little midgets to
Yeah.
2X or 3X are the same
I
price.
tried my
Our
hardest.
damnedest. And hey, guys, this will all be something that will change down the road. The better deal we can get you all, we're going to.
Oh yes.
Because as we've talked a million times, we're not trying to get rich off this shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like seeing people walk around with shit that says Hard Nose on it.
Yep. Or drinking beer with their 4-in-1 koozies, or drinking coffee out of their 20-ounce tumblers.
Everybody likes them 4-in-1, man.
Yeah.
Everybody that's got one loves the fucking
Yep.
Nose. I've lost 2 so far. I'm probably not gonna get another one.
We tried to stay competitive with anything. I mean, like a hoodie is $35. You'll go to any show and that hoodie will be $50.
Right.
You know,
Again, like I said, not trying to break the bank.
nope. Prices are just
Because there's some design stuff that I want to talk to our creator lady over here with. Because I've had a few people ask about the caricatures on the back of stuff. I just don't know how I feel about my face being thrown around like that.
I think they're cool. It's cool on the keychains.
But I'm serious. I've had a few people ask, like, "Hey, can we get that shit up on the back of there?" I was like, "Fuck, I'll make you some booty shorts." Put that shit on there.
We're also going to look into changing the green in the logo. We've had a request for.
I've had a request. A very good supporter, some Southern brethren that used a lot of pink in their cars.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, is there any way you can change that bumper to pink? Or maybe the outline of the green to pink?" And I said, "Well, we're probably going to have to get a hold of
The guy.
Mr. Broadhead to see if he can to send it over." But Tyler, we're working on it.
And if we can keep working on, and we'll, like I said, you all got to give us just time.
And suggestions if there's something.
Yeah, because like I feel like that's one of those deals that would become an option, later on. You know how you can sometimes you can change font and whatnot.
Which I haven't even done anything with Justin because I know he's trying to play catch up.
Dude's been busy.
Busy.
And along with hitting shows.
Yeah, and Tekken shows.
Yeah.
And photographing shows. I mean, he's as busy as us, if not busier.
I'm going to guess he's a little bit more busy because I know what I did today.
I know what I did today, but we're not going to talk about what I did today.
I did not fucking.
So, just keep them coming, man. Keep the downloads coming. We're going to do everything in our ability to bring you what you want to hear. The next few weeks, I'm hoping are going to be really cool shit
about Utah.
Yep.
Leading up to this one.
And then we've got, we're going to have some coverage for Terry Lyerly Memorial. second annual.
That was a request from Macho Nachos himself.
Some 40G payouts, 7,500 win street stock. Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about that number 9 spot in the street.
That number 9 spot.
There's a G-Bird.
That number's Avery Hunault won it last year.
Yep.
So, and
I know what he was in.
Yup. 03 life. So, keep it coming, man. Like I said, we're going to do the best we can for you. Just keep on and
Get to see a bunch of badass youth drivers there, too.
Oh, my.
Maybe get to see old Griff.
1208 doing work. Yeah. He ought to get the highest bumper, the Mad Dog, and a trophy. So, any last words?
No, sir.
Make junk, boys.